the double team. Setting up Miller. Passed on the 3, hits the 2. Reggie Miller, who was 0 for 6. Miller on a quick release. Reggie Miller line drives it home, and he's tied the game at 8. And let's see what the call is. Last touch by Indiana on a deflection. The Knicks for more offense from him. The pass stolen by Jackson. Miller with Oakley back. Miller on the pull-up. And Indiana leads 18-14.
A little surprised that time that Reggie took that shot because it was a great jump. Really seeing what was in front of him as he just flipped the ball out there. Mark Jackson reading the eyes all the way of John Starks and then sending Reggie Miller on this fast break jumper.
Indiana has hit its last 4 shots by 2.
Jim Gray overhearing in the Indiana as Reggie Miller gets inside on the post-up.
Sixers lead 24-22. Miller looking for the shot against Starks. Starks playing him well, but an illegal defense called against the Knicks.
Once again, confusion on the back line of the defense. I don't necessarily agree with that. Charles Oakley can help his team in so many different ways. Diving for loose balls, banging both boards in particular.
Miller, oh, how he got that off.
Well, first of all, Reggie Miller vowing to be much more aggressive offensively, not going to wait till when the game is on the line in the fourth quarter. He took plenty of time here, not much of a fake, but just getting into the air quickly before
against Starks, and the Knicks have switched off Harper to Miller. It does not matter
where I was caught in the lane. Here Reggie Miller is coming off a stagger screen on the baseline, and what sets this up is the fact that Rick Smits setting that last pick, and Mason, who's guarding Smits right now, not really eager to step out and help there because he wants them.
Indiana by 5. Miller for 3. And Ewing with the rebound. In this first half, Miller on the quick release. Run down by McKee. Good hustle. Back for Miller. Yes. 3-pointer for Reggie Miller. Indiana in the first half. Miller played very tightly by Starks. Then Starks got picked off. And a foul against the Knicks. And words between Oakley and Miller. Foul on Ewing. That is his second.
Miller is looking to score every time he touches the ball. Patrick Ewing just way too late in showing out there. And again, we've seen another case of a guard. We saw Greg Anthony do it earlier. A guard, a bigger, slower player by just initiating a little bit of contact and bouncing off and getting the foul.
And Matt Larry Brown going with the same philosophy regarding Rick Smits that we've seen throughout the series. With the 2 fouls, he's leaving him on the bench probably for the rest of the half. And we've seen Smits, particularly the Pacers, on a 4-on-3. Miller eluding Starks, going glass. Rebound, Smith did not have the shot. Here comes Miller in the open floor. Miller slicing his way, and it's tipped home. Mark Jackson with the tip. And Mark Jackson has 10 points.
But Reggie forcing the action here on the break, a smart thing, and good hustle once again by Mark Jackson, not taking anything for granted, following up on a deal of confidence. Knows that he can take the ball on the floor and get pretty much wherever he wants to.
Miller backing up for the 3. Reggie Miller hitting his second from downtown. Has not been able to hit from the outside. Reggie Miller has another 3. And he has begun the stare with
I was mentioning how both teams very quiet with the 3-point shooting. This is not an easy one, but Reggie will take this on the backup situation, and then he starts to feel it. And this is where he is more apt to get a better look for the 3. Perfect feed from Mark Jackson, and Reggie drains another one.
So Reggie. Clock at 6. Miller. And a foul. Oakley stepping in the path, and he's called
into his chest, and that enables him to drive and do this, something he does as well as maybe Mark Price, the 2 best free throw shooters in basketball.
Spike in disguise here. I think Reggie will fight him.
He knows where to look.
And a lead is 8. Here is Miller. Reggie Miller on fire. He's getting Miller. Played by Starks. Shot clock at 7. And a foul on Starks. That is only his first.
Open look.
Reggie Miller, during the regular season, just under 90% at the free throw line. He is 6 for 8 this afternoon.
And some of the reason why the guards for New York not getting those open shots early in the ballgame is that Ewing was having such an easy time of scoring against Smith and making his move.
81-73, Indiana. Antonio Davis in a battle down low with Patrick Ewing. Now Miller isolated against Starks. With the shot clock at 3, goes off the mark. And Miller. High ball game. Game tied at 86. Miller slicing his way through. Finding Smits. Rick Smits with 14 points. And he's given Indiana
enough time. And now Miller's slicing through and splitting that little double team, drawing the defense to him.
In the fourth quarter, though, he's had a strong game.
Running out to the top.
The Starks cuts to the corner. The inbounds to Ewing. Down to 3. Down to 2. Ewing. Not over the head. And it's all over. The Indiana Pacers have their